Hello and welcome back, and in this video we are going to be looking at tracking, another skill required in project management. But before we start, you'll see on your screen a application called Gantt, and what you see there is a GUI, a graphical user interface with all of the various features of the Gantt software. So let me go and explain to you what we're looking at. Now on the far left hand side you will see name. Now down that name are all of the activities, all of the tasks that are required within this particular project. So in this example, which you're seeing on your screen, is building a house, and you can see all the tasks that needed to be done. Those tasks are grouped, and you'll notice that with a slightly lighter color background on them, and these are the milestones. So a milestone to be completed, a series of subtasks need to be done. After the name section you'll see the start and the end date, and you'll see maybe after that, well, you'll definitely see after that, the length of the job. Now the length of the job is in number of days, and those are shown by a blue bar next to each of the tasks. Some of those tasks have a dotted line in it. The dotted line is the tracking. It's the monitoring of how that job is going. Is that particular job on schedule? Is it on task? Is it going at the right pace? The final thing to note are those small black arrows that link from one task to another. Some of those arrows are quite long, some of them very short, but that is showing you the dependencies. So if you remember in a previous video, we said that some tasks are dependent on other tasks being completed before that particular job can be done. So those black arrows are showing dependencies, which job is dependent upon others. So let's get back to tracking and see what that is all about. Tracking is all about measuring and reporting how a particular task, subtask, or project in general is getting on. Now, at a simple level, we might want to simply track the milestones. Have the milestones been reached at a specific time? But we can track more than that, and if we look at the board, I'll show you. We can look at tracking on activities and tasks. So in this case, we could track how many hours are spent on a particular task, or how much of the costings have gone on a particular task. So being able to monitor the number of hours people take and how much a cost for a particular task is will help the project manager make sure that everything is kept at the right budget and at the right time, because he's able to monitor these things and also be able to deal with any problems and come up with solutions if hours are too great or the costs incurred become too much. Now, part of tracking is not only being able to carefully monitor each of the tasks, and that's a skill in itself, but it's also being able to be a people person, and that's avoid micromanagement. Micromanagement is where people aren't really asked to think. They're just simply told to do certain things at certain times in certain ways, and people become rather robotic. In order to make sure that a project goes well, you really need to empower all the people so that all the workers and staff, or certainly the key people, can take ownership of a project. If they take ownership of a product, they can make their own decisions. And invariably, it's those people in those key positions are able to make those decisions best. And if we can empower them, and by giving them the necessary information, like certain tasks are going over or they're incurring too many costs, those key people can make the right decision. So part of tracking, as we've seen, is the idea of measuring and reporting. But it's more than that. It's also being able to be a people person and avoid that micromanagement and allow people to be empowered to make those decisions in order to be able to keep the project on time. Thank you.